Rip City and the Bluff City, two teams vying for the final playoff spot in the Western Conference. Really interesting dichotomy that we have here between the Grizzlies and the Blazers. Not really living up to expectations either way. We really expected big things from Portland to begin the year. Had that great playoff run last year. Dame's wave, not the case. They've been struggling for a lot of the season. Memphis, they were slated to be one of the worst teams in the league, competing for James Wiseman or Cole Anthony. Memphis 28-26. Portland is 25-31. 4 games back from that 8th playoff seed that Memphis currently holds. You know, you have some people out there saying they think New Orleans could sneak in. The Spurs, they're not completely out of it either, but I'm really not a big believer in them. My money is going to be on the Blazers or the Grizzlies. Probably know this by now. Memphis won the game. They'll have 2 more games against each other before the season's out. Let's do that one more time. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so let's look at the teams, kind of break it down here. Ja Morant, I mean, this guy is just incredible. He's Rookie of the Year. My comparison for him is a more athletic Steve Nash. At the 2 spot, Dillon Brooks. He missed most of last year due to a toe injury. He's having a really good season this year, close to 16 points per game, shooting around 40% from 3. Good defender. He signed that extension that's going to keep him in Memphis for another 3 years. At the 3, we've got Kyle Anderson starting. Since the Jay Crowder trade, the Grizzlies are 8-1 when he starts. Kyle Anderson just really brings a new dimension to that starting lineup. He's not the type of player who's looking to score. He doesn't really shoot the 3 that well, but he's going to get deflections. He's a great playmaker. His entry passes are really good too. Just personifies the type of guys that this Grizzlies management wants for this team. All in all, it's just players who care about winning and really gel well in a team environment. At the 4 spot, you've got Jaren Jackson Jr. He shoots 3s pretty well, about 6 per game. His defense is awesome. At the Portland game, he held Carmelo to 1 for 15 shooting. Jonas Valanciunas, who of course was in the trade for Marc Gasol last year, double-double machine. He and Whiteside even kind of got into it a couple times during the Portland and Grizzlies game. Whiteside was ejected. Valanciunas had 18 boards for that game. He really outplayed him to help Memphis get that win. Brandon Clark, who is the rookie out of Gonzaga, tied his career high with 27 points. He's actually looking to break a record for rookie field goal percentage. Right now, his field goal percentage in that 60% range. Gorgui Dieng, his first game with the Grizzlies, he came off the bench. Really impressed with how Dieng did this first game. Only played 13 minutes, but 7 points, a couple assists, a couple steals. Just the type of player who looked like he'd been there all year. For Portland, the team shot 37%. I mentioned Carmelo's 1 for 15. CJ McCollum, he was 9 of 25. Dame had 20 points on 7 of 19 shooting, about 8 or 9 points below his average. I do like that Trevor Ariza addition. They got him from the Kings a little bit before the deadline. With Sacramento, he played 32 games, only averaging 6 points, but with Portland, 11 games now for them and averaging 10 points. Anthony Simons was actually a pretty good bright spot. He had 22 points off the bench. I think he's going to be a good player. The rest of the bench really didn't give them too much, only 6 points. The Memphis bench, on the other hand, had 54 points. One more time. 3, 2, and 1. The big story from the game was the Damian Lillard injury. He had that strained groin that he got in the 4th quarter. They've really been snake bit with injuries this season. He's already missed a couple games this year, one against the Pelicans and the other against the Bucks. The Blazers lost both of those games. Looking at how long Lillard might be out, past players with this type of injury. Last season, LeBron, he missed 15 games last year from a groin strain. Then Steph Curry also last year missed 11 games. So if we kind of split the difference, let's say 13 games, and you factor in the All-Star break, let's say Damian Lillard misses maybe 10 games or so. That would put him back in the lineup on March 12th. And guess who their opponent is for that game? It's Memphis. If he is out for roughly 10 games, Portland does have a fairly easy stretch during that time. They've got Atlanta, Orlando, Washington, Sacramento. They've got Phoenix a couple times. All those are winnable with Dame, but without, I don't know. I think that's the big question. Okay, 3, 2, and 1. So who do I think is going to get the final spot? With the uncertainty of this Lillard injury, I think it's Memphis' spot to lose. A couple things that Portland does have going for them, though. The next 2 games against Memphis... One more time. The next 2 games with Memphis are going to be in Portland. So that's good for them. I think Memphis has a chance to lose both of those. So that would give Portland the advantage for a tiebreaker if the teams end up with the same record at the end of the year. Also, the Memphis schedule is just brutal for the rest of the year. They're playing the Lakers twice, Raptors twice, they're playing the Clippers, they're playing Houston twice, they're playing Utah, they're playing Boston. Just the last month of the season alone in April, you've got Dallas, you've got Philly, you've got the Thunder, and you've got the Nuggets. So all those are going to be tough games for Memphis. But I'm going with them because this Ja Morant kid is a superstar. Plays like a vet already. He really turns it up during the big games. So I really think he's going to help push the Grizzlies over the edge. So who you got? Have you got Memphis? Have you got one more time. So tell me what you think. Who do you think is going to get... So who do you have? Is it going to be Memphis? Do you think it's Portland? Somebody else? Let me know in the comments. Be sure and like this video. Subscribe to this channel. I'll be putting out videos every couple days. Trades, free agency, team decisions, game recaps, all that good stuff. I'm Troy, and this has been the Half Court Report.